Welcome, everyone. Hi. Hi, Donna. Hi, Sally.
Morning.
Hey, Diane. Hey, Kathy.
Hi.
Welcome. Can you guys see the slides and links in the chat? If not, I will repost them.
I cannot. No, I cannot see that.
Okay, let me repost. Okay, so there's our links. And let me repost slides. So we are here. So I'm Peggy Semingson, and we are presenting a recap of the Technology Test Kitchen. And I am tag teaming with my fabulous colleague, Dr. Sarah Shelton from English. So can you all just type your name, your unit or what you do in the chat window and that kind of thing, and we'll get started in about 1 minute. Slides. And this session is being recorded, so if you need to step away or something, we'll have the upload on our CIRTL YouTube channel. Okay. Okay, great. And if you want to turn your microphone on, you can, but let us know what you hope to learn, or if you attended a test kitchen and kind of what you hope to do with digital teaching and learning and that kind of thing with your students or whoever you work with in your role at UTA. You can turn your microphone on too. We're a small group. So got engineering, nursing, DSS, and social work.
Hey, Peggy, I was really excited that you put this online because I
good.
wasn't able to attend the in-person session. So really excited about being able to catch up on what I missed.
Oh, good. Yeah, and this is definitely the bus tour. So you'll get like a little taste. Actually, I should use the cooking metaphor, right?
Yeah. Perfect.
No mixed metaphors. So we'll get started, get a taste of it. We'll just kind of quick demo, which is what we do in the test kitchen. And then you can explore on your own in real time. If you have another monitor, that's good. There's also an Adobe Express mobile app. So we'll be using Adobe Express. Let me get started by sharing my screen. And Sarah and I will introduce ourselves more formally. So again, I'm Peggy Semingson, Interim Director of CIRTL, and I'll turn it over to Sarah to introduce herself.
I'm Sarah Shelton. I am a senior lecturer in English, and I'm the lead facilitator for CIRTL, and I'm also a Matthew facilitator. So,
yeah, and we'll be monitoring the chat as well. We are an Adobe Creative Campus, and so we've been doing, I think is it 8, Sarah? 8 test kitchens this semester. It's kind of a pilot. It's hands-on. We're going to think of ways to make it hybrid in the future, but for now, we're doing the recap. We'll do another one at the end of the semester. And Adobe has great tutorials as well. So we have one coming up on the 26th. It's also open to staff and grad students, so it's kind of a y'all come event. It's in the technology bar, and just drop in anytime. Thursday, March 26th. It's on building reusable teaching templates that save time for students. So we'll just frame it. I'll walk you through our main website for this. So if you want to come back to the CIRTL Test Kitchen website, it does have some resources you can explore. And then we'll kind of whiz through. I'm going to cover career portfolio, and then Sarah's going to cover the syllabus and also our third topic, which was explainer videos and podcasts. I think a lot of people, don't you think, Sarah, we're really excited about podcasts?
Yes.
And then a quick debrief, kind of what do you think about the topic? How might you use it? And then a little bit of general discussion. And we're going to wrap up about 12:50 today, so a little early. And yeah, that's it. And then our links, those are in the chat. And so we hope that you can explore these in real time while Sarah and I kind of walk you through. And again, this is for faculty or staff or anyone interested in multimodal communication. People are so visual these days. They like interaction. This aligns with active learning. This aligns with being able to curate student learning, and so that they can showcase it. They're learning, you can showcase it. You have a deliverable and that kind of thing. So yeah, these are just some outcomes. What is multimodal teaching? How can you use digital portfolios, multimodal syllabus, explainer videos, those are short videos, or podcasts and visual infographics or posters to kind of beef up your teaching. And then again, this is free. We love that Adobe Express is paid for. It's free for us. UTA pays for it. They have a site license for everyone. And so again, the test kitchen is just short, hands-on, kind of try it out, focus on pedagogy, not just tools, and then learn from each other. So we hope that you can share what you've done, etc. Before I jump into this, I want to share the Test Kitchen webpage. I think it's in the chat. If not, Sarah, do you mind throwing it in there? So if you haven't visited it, we have our registration. We have an overview video. And then if you want to mentor, you can. But we have registration for future sessions, etc. And then I think towards the bottom, we also have the Chef's Challenge, so you can read about that. But we really want you to be able to explore Adobe as well. So I think it's under resources, more about the Adobe campus. So if you go to resources and click on Adobe Creative Campus, there is a wealth of resources for you. You have free access to Adobe Express, which is kind of like Canva. And then Adobe Firefly is an AI generated tool that you can create images. And again, how to access it is here. If you want the broader Creative Cloud, there's a link to go to opt in, and then Firefly, etc. So lots of tutorials. There is a support page. There are modules. This is the fun one. There are micro credentials that you and your students can earn to get badges. So that helps with workforce and career. Okay, so back to this. So I'm going to click on this link and it's going to take me to the career portfolio. This is basically an overview of what we did way back when in January 15th. Can everyone see my screen with the Adobe?
Yes.
Okay, good. And so this is the first link that we put in the chat. So you want to make sure that you can access Adobe Express. It's just express.adobe.com and you log in with your UTA credentials. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go back to this page in just a second. So you'll see here, you've got access. Once you're logged in, you can see other tools like Firefly, Express, Stock has images. So if you're just looking for general images for this or just Canvas, you have access to Adobe Stock. So that's pretty cool. So back to Adobe Express, it's basically template driven. So you can reuse their templates. It's social, they have different formats. You can search for templates here for this, and then your stuff is organized in your stuff. For this particular one, we have a remixable template. So if you go there and jump down to the remixable template, and this is the basic career portfolio. So you can reuse this like today in your teaching. And so you and your students will just click remix this. So this is the blank template. So contact information, LinkedIn, etc. Put your name here, and it's just basically you can replace everything. You have to click remix. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's pretty easy. We're borrowing a template. Adobe created this. We did not create this, but you can make templates for your students to remix, and that's actually our topic for next week. Okay, so and then you go in here and you can just edit. So I'm going to edit it and put my name in here. I'm working on my career portfolio, and it's really just fill in the blank for your students. And so you can replace it. I want to put a headshot in here. If I have one, your students may need one. So then you just find, you find your, here's me with an Adobe mug. Okay, so a little brand stuff going on. You can also use their images or use AI to generate an image. Like Sarah, when we did this, like, can you help me out? Like, what should I put in here?
For your prompt?
Yeah.
Are you wanting a picture of yourself or do you want something?
Yeah. Of myself.
I would just describe yourself as best as you can. So yeah, there you go.
Okay.
You're doing it.
I'm short, so I'll say petite. 5'2". When people did this, they were amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Teaching mainly online. If you know me, I teach mainly online. And I also work with faculty, short red hair, business. What is it? Work. What is that? Business casual.
Yeah.
uh,
You probably want to give an age range and
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll just say mine. You don't have to put your age. I will. You can say whatever your age range, 40 to 50. I should have said that.
And gender, and I would go ahead and say white.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what it comes up with and what we think. So people were doing this at the test kitchen and they really looked good. So I'm going to wrap this one up in just a minute. We just wanted to give you the nuts and bolts of that one and just kind of see what you think about it. So Sarah, do you want to add anything about this one?
So there you go. Look at you.
Yeah. So,
not quite there, but from
yeah.
there you would edit the prompt and keep going. A lot of people were interested with the Firefly. You know, you'll see that you have certain credits. You have plenty of credits if you're going to do generative AI like that, and they replenish each month. So you and your students will both have credit there. Kathy, did you have a question?
Yeah, quick question. If you have an existing resume or CV, can one upload it and then it gets formulated in that template, or do you have to do it step by step?
It's step by step.
Data?
Yeah, you have to pull it over.
It's kind of basic. But it is fast. So if you want a really simple, easy start for you or your students, this is a kind of better than nothing. It might be like your starter portfolio, but there are a lot of things you can do. I'm going to turn it over to Sarah to share her screen, and we're going to jump into. Oh, so what are y'all's thoughts on that? What do you think?
Do any of y'all already do portfolios or CV kind of work in your classes?
I do not. I tried to create something kind of like what you were showing, and I've had a little. I feel like there's a more of a learning curve than there is like with Canva, which is what I have been used to using in terms of actually getting it to do what I want it to do. But I'm still learning, so I think it's just a process.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. But what I'm finding is the longer I'm getting in there and playing, it is getting better, right? So like it's not as intuitive. But then I also have been using Canva for so long that the other day I was like, Sarah, when you first started Canva, it wasn't, it took you a while to get used to it too. Yeah. Sure. But things are in different places. Like even yesterday I was trying to, what was I trying to do? I was either trying to the background. I was trying to just replace the background. And in that sense, the background of this layered image was like, I couldn't get to it. I couldn't figure out where it was. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of clicking around and
it's
just kind of
trying complicated. Right. Yeah.
Well, because it's kind of pulling from Photoshop itself and things like that. So it does kind of tend more towards, the Adobe product, right? It's not quite it's more user friendly than learning Photoshop or something like that, but it's not quite Canva.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, Sarah's going to jump into the digital syllabus, which is more like a supplement to your syllabus. It doesn't totally replace it.
Yes. Let me share my.
Yes, Donna, this could be a good introduction for the discussion board, especially for online students.
Yeah, and I with the portfolio, the template we have and the other templates too, I'm using that one for my students to do like not a portfolio or, well, yes, some of them are doing portfolios, but another class is just using it to do like a reflection. So it's not a full portfolio or CV, but it's more of like just for our class kind of thing. So this was this is the second link in the chat. And can everyone see my screen, the screen? Okay.
Yes.
So we're looking at the syllabus template. Now, as it says here, of course, this does not replace the official template. Please do not take this as us letting you off the hook of using the actual template. But what we have often talked about, you know, when you're thinking about syllabus design is, of course, that our students often struggle to read it, maybe don't read it. And so a lot of people, you know, have a more a shorter or a more engaging version in Canvas or something like that. And so this is useful for building things like that. If you go down to step 3 at that link, you can get to the actual template that Adobe created for us that is specifically for UTA, which is kind of cool for sure. So it will, this one again is a template we are giving you. So you're not going straight into Adobe and searching for it. Instead, you're going to go ahead and hit remix. And from there, it now becomes yours. Now, one thing we didn't say earlier is that all of this, when you open a new template or document or you're remixing something, it's going to save in real time in the cloud. So it's in your Creative Cloud. You don't need to worry about, you know, pausing to hit save and things like that. So again, just like with the portfolio, and I'm going to, no, I'm not.
Sarah, one of the learning curve things Diane mentioned is just the publish to web. So whenever you're done, can you share that part?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm just going to come in here and let's do 3391. Oops. Well, y'all don't need to watch me type, but because I'm not doing a very good job of it either. Okay, and so you keep adding stuff like that. Now, again, the cool part then is you start to get into, you know, you have the sort of sliding web page feel. You can add images, you know, usually with a template like this, you know, as Peggy pointed out, you go to replace, and that's where you can either generate or upload. So for instance, let's see, so I do a lot of group work in that class, so I'm just going to pick a stock image of a group of students working and keep going from there. It also, this kind of version really makes you think about what is most important, you know, and what, for instance, if we had to, like, you know, in a short form like this, just give a very short, like 15-word description of the class, what would it be? So again, not replacing your syllabus, but being more of a interactive, visual, engaging priority of the syllabus kind of thing that you can also add into Canvas or send to your students and things like that. So let's say I've been working on this. Oh, here, I was going to say we can also, because since I'm up here in the banner, we'll pick another group work one. So you can see that it already kind of makes it a little bit more interesting and things like that. Oh, and now something's buffering. Okay. So you have options when you have like finished a document or gotten it to where you either want to share it or download it. So when you hit share, you can either, you know, invite collaborators, or you can also publish to the web. In this case, sorry, I've got to move stuff on my screen so I can actually see. This is, if you'll look, you see up here, this is a web page, right? So if you're going into Adobe Express without a template, and you're wanting to create something like this, either create a template of your own to give your students or something like that, then it's important to know what type of document it is. In this case, it is a web page. So we were creating a link basically, and it's going to actually publish it for us. And then from then on, it is a web page. So now I have a link that I can either, you know, as it says here, I can share in Teams, I can email, embed. And of course, as with anything, you can just copy the link, open up your Microsoft Office email and go from there, or open up Canvas, right? And drop the link into Canvas from there. So any questions or thoughts on that one? That was a very, these are, again, very quick, just kind of, here's what we were doing. So any thoughts on how you might use it, or questions or things you want me to look at a little bit more closely as far as what to do with Adobe and things like that?
Sarah, can you
Yes.
upload the syllabus into this?
Into Adobe Express?
Yeah, for this purpose, for the template.
No, so unfortunately, I mean, here's the deal. You can create PDFs in Adobe Express. So yes, you could technically upload it as a file into Adobe Express and play with it there, right? And like sort of, let me go into, sorry, just Adobe Express.
Donna, you could also like link it if you have it uploaded in Mentis. You could add a hyperlink and say the official syllabus is here if you upload it in Digital Measures or Mentis.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, like here's the unofficial version, and then here's the link to the official syllabus.
Okay.
Right. So, you can also, just to show you, like, you can create PDFs and stuff like that. We haven't really gone over that yet, but I went into my stuff, which is over in your navigation bar here. And this is a PDF project that I do for our department. So I have this template already there, and I change things out. So in the same sense, you could upload your, you could bring in your syllabus into here and have it be an editable PDF. But as far as like translating it over to the liquid syllabus, it won't, you will have to do that step by step, right? Like, so you'll have to, just like with the portfolio, you'll have to, type in for each part. Okay, yes, thank you. We know it's ready to share. Like for each of these parts and things like that, you'll have to add it. Now, one thing I didn't point out is if you want to add, like, of course, the template is what it is, right? And you're remixing it. So if you want to add something different, that's what these plus buttons are. And so you can add a photo, you can add text, any of the sort of like blocks that you think of it that way, right? So like this is a photo block here. This is a text block here. You could add video and things like that throughout the document and make it more yours, even more than what's already there, right? So this was just, again, a template that someone else created that we're remixing. Whereas for, well, before I jump into the videos, did anyone else have any questions or thoughts on the syllabus?
I have one thought. If
okay, yeah,
I have used this for years, this type of thing. I used to use other tools, but I've always taught online, and online students, especially grad students, kind of are eager to get started and get a head start. And so if you send it out, it gives the students an advanced overview of your class. So yeah, so it doesn't have to totally replace your syllabus, but it gives them like a sneak preview.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. I'll put your link in the chat for the third one.
Thanks. Thank you. Yes. So for the third one, we didn't have a, here, let me go here, a template for you. So this is the link that Peggy's putting in the chat is where it will take you now, to this. And it was talking about explainer videos, but in general, we were talking that day about videos and podcasting, period. So, different ways you might use that in your classroom, and then how to get into Adobe Express and do that. So for this one, we just hop into Adobe Express. So let me go back to the home page, get out of my thing here. So we're in here and we know we want to take a video or make a video. We'll say that. There's lots of different ways you get to the template, looking for templates you want to either remix or, again, starting from scratch. So if you want to start from your own content, if you have stuff for instance, maybe you have a video already from your phone that you're wanting to add things to or edit or something like that, you can start from your content. You can generate with AI. That is an option, obviously. And then, of course, as Peggy showed you earlier, you can search for templates. So if we go up here let's say I want to do intro videos with my students. I see what happens, what pops up. It could be cool stuff. It could be, nothing I'm too interested in. So for here, we have like, a cool video that's welcoming someone to a YouTube channel, it looks like, things like that. You have design assets and backgrounds, anywhere you might want to start, right? But let's say that you're just, you just kind of want to get going on a video. You also have, all these options right here to start Instagram post, presentation, and we'll hit video. Usually what's going to happen if you just do this is it's going to be this nice YouTube size. I've kind of noticed that that's the horizontal, and then like the size of that. You can do things like resize projects up in file. So let's say you got all of this going and you're like, I don't want this to look like a YouTube. I want it to be portrait and I want it to be more like an Instagram reel. You can come up to file and you can go to resize and you can tell it, how you want to resize it. That's been a really cool lifesaver for me because I do social media for our department. And so I'm able to create one document or one flyer and resize things for other things. And so from here, you just, as it says here, you drag and drop media to get started. We'll just hit add media here, and we'll do some stock video because I don't have anything uploaded for us to do. So let's say let's say I was doing a intro explainer video about ocean life, because that's what it and we could start adding by clicking there. You can also drag it down into your timeline right here. So what's now going to pop up here is your timeline. If you're wanting to add new pages or new media, you use your plus button. If you want to add audio, you click here. The cool thing about Adobe Express is the range of free video, images. Not, AI is for some students a tricky subject, right? Not all of them want to use it and things like that. So if you're having your students create video, what is cool is that, yes, they can generate stuff like this with AI, but there's also a really, really robust catalog already in Adobe Express that's free. It's Creative Commons, that is video, images, and sound. So let's say, I don't know if there's going to be ocean music or ocean depths. Here we go. That's cool. So now we have our ocean view with our very dramatic. We can also add text over it, so when you are working in your layers down here on the timeline, whatever has selected at the moment, that's where you're doing things like adding text. So that Learn More button is now just on this layer, this page. If I add another scene, you'll see that like that nothing is there, right? So I would start now building on this layer, things like that. So I'm sorry, I get into stuff like this. So but it's playing around in here that's going to be helpful. And again, with the share and the download, when you go to share this time, it's going to give you a lot more options because this is not a web page. You can, create an option for people to work with you on it. So to edit or view only, you can do the view only button. And, but hold on, let's go back. I'm wanting to download, not share. So once you hit download, and you could also have gone straight to the download button. You have your file formats that you can use. This is where you're going to find PNG or JPEG. In our case, we want an MP4, and we can pick the resolution, if we don't want to have such a big file and things like that. And from there, we would hit download and we would have a video. Just to show you really quickly, one way I'm using this in my classroom, this is a online course I'm creating right now for spring of 27, and it's a multimodal course. And this is just a show and tell first day video that's going to take them maybe 30 minutes. And the most important part is for them to get, as it says here, get into Adobe Express and just do what we just did, which is play around. That's all I want them to do, is get in there and start learning the tools and things like that. So I have a very, straightforward Canvas page with lots of directions, and I'm asking them to create a video that has, a certain number of clips, as it says here, each being about 3 seconds. And these are going to be their own video clips. So let me actually go show you really quickly. I'm going to go like we've done before. Okay, never mind. I don't want down to your stuff, right? Because that's where all your stuff is going to be. And from here, you can go into your folders like uploads, and, here in uploads, I've been working, there's pictures from the video I made and some of the social media. Here's our logos and stuff like that for social media. But you can also go to, your projects. So this is where you can also quickly get back to, your files, my files, not that. So I'm trying to find, there's my video. Okay. So this was the show and tell video I made for my students. Oh, I don't want to add it. I just want to look at it. Sorry. Hold on one second. Let me just go back to here and open the actual video. Okay, so what my students will be doing is, you can see there's several layers here, very short videos. They would bring them in, their own videos. So whereas you do upload, and that will allow you to get into your computer, upload video from there, things like that. And then, of course, as part of our multimodal work, I wanted them to pick a song that had a certain vibe and things like that. So just a very quick So that's them getting to introduce themselves for the first discussion board, and they have to respond to peers. And so this is a little bit more interesting way than the usual, just, hey, here's like some questions, answer them for the discussion board. And it's the first step in getting those students into Adobe Express and having them play around and make sure that they're learning the tools. So that was a lot to throw at you in a few minutes. Are there any questions or thoughts about how to use this, or how you might want to use it, or things you want me to show you real quickly, or anything like that?
Sarah, I had a quick question. You said at the very beginning, did I hear correctly that you can upload a flyer and resize it? You said something about that being very helpful. Mm-hmm. Yes. Is that what you were referring to? Yeah.
I have done, yes. Yeah. So you can, upload an actual file. Like I had built the one I showed y'all, the newsletter, I built it in Canva, first, and then I wanted to have it housed in Adobe Express. So I just opened it as a PDF in Adobe Express, and I was able to, now it was a bit of a whole thing, getting it set up the way I wanted as far as the text boxes went. They didn't translate 100%. But that's going to happen with any sort of PDF you're editing, period. Right. You're often going to have to like redo your text boxes, because they don't always translate from wherever you created it first into like Acrobat or something like that. So it was annoying, but it was a lot less work than starting from scratch, for sure. And then from there, like once you have it built in Adobe Express, you can, from there you can resize it, right? So I haven't done it with a video, but let's so if this doesn't go well, nobody totally make fun of me, just, a little bit. let's see. So right now it's in an Instagram reel. Let's just see what happens. I don't know.
I love shorts.
Okay, I don't think anything really happened, but anyways, it would be more obvious if I was doing like one of my because I'll do an Instagram post and from a flyer and stuff like that. So those are and I've done posters, like taken a poster size and made it down to a flyer size and stuff like that. So one thing I will just show y'all very quickly, which was playing around with and very much appreciated, if I can find it, because right now I'm not seeing it. Let me go back to yeah, so now I'm in the main area, right? And if you come over here to this learn button right here, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff, right? So there's stuff for you, like guided activities that can help you. Like if you're like, okay, I don't remember how to do a video and stuff like that. There was this one right here I played with the other day. It's direct to silent short film. And so if you could have your students do this as an assignment, right? Because it's already in here. So you would just get them to that assignment. The instructions are over here in a video. And then they start playing with the video itself. And changing the elements, and that's how they kind of learn, how to do that. My video was not to be well, never mind, I won't show you because it's kind of silly. But yeah, so that's cool. Other things in here are they have creative challenges. Also, when Peggy was talking earlier about the credentials, I'm working several of the micro credentials into that same class. So you know, under career skills, this is where some of them are. Like I'm having my students do the data storytelling one. I actually did this course 2 days ago. It didn't take, it takes about maybe an hour. And what's cool about it is your students have to do an assignment. They have to submit it to Adobe, and it takes about, mine came in the next day. It was someone had quote unquote graded it and said I did a good enough job to give me the badge, right? But it says it can take up to 5 business days. And in order for your student to get or for anyone to get the badge, they have to have watched all of the videos in the course and read the stuff. It's not just you can jump to the activity, right, and whatever. And so that's already built, like it's already all in there. It has all the videos, it has all of the information, and it has the activity. So if you were, for instance, I was the next one I'm going to watch, because I'm going to see if I want the multimodal students to do it, is the podcasting one. And then these are also good for you, right? So like if you want to do podcasting in Adobe Express, these are another way for you to look at, you've got storytelling through short form video, all sorts of fun stuff. So I just wanted to point that out before I was done. So any other questions or anything at all?
It's great.
Okay, Peggy, do you want to take us home with the last one?
Wrap up the last one, and then we'll just do kind of a what do you think kind of question. And next steps. I love the micro credential idea, and they're not like they don't take days or hours to do.
No, they don't. Those that I just showed you are each about an hour long. So I think that's, definitely doable for students.
Awesome. Can you see my, wait, I'm not sharing yet, I don't think.
I will say this.
Hit the button. Go ahead.
Real quick, Peggy, the badge comes through CRTLE. So their students will have to sign up for a free account with them, but they still use their, I think their UTA login, and everything worked fine for me. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, so this is also one where we don't have a remixable template. So let me throw these links in the chat. So everyone I think knows what everyone knows what a research poster is. These are not going to be the full scale PowerPoint size. And so that's one thing to note. And the infographics are a lot easier. So I'm just going to share those for now. So I just went to Adobe Express, and I think I typed in the top infographics. And so there's remixable ones here. Some are more straightforward. These work really well for like overviews of topics. These are good for student assignments. So you can click on the template and it's ready to use. And yes, and this one even gives directions on the template. So if you just want students to share some facts, that would be good. Some of them are more, sequential and that kind of thing. But yeah, so this could be for you for teaching. So like here's one for health, or they could be for students for summarizing information, group project, pre-writing, brainstormings, synthesis, anything. But it's really simple. Just click customize, decide what you want to use it for, how it matches your objectives, and then you can either create one yourself, or you can have your students do one. And so again, there's different ways to customize it here. I know there's a way to use AI to do this. I have never done it. Have you, Sarah?
No.
I'm more familiar with other things. So anyway, if it's a picture, you can definitely customize it with AI and Firefly. So like I did, actually I did use AI at the beginning with my image of myself. So infographics are pretty straightforward. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much on that. And then in the chat, I also have more examples, infographic examples for beginners. So if you and your students need something that's, a little more baby steps, let's see, I think I'm already logged in, so I just click start designing. Okay, so it's some of the same ones we just saw. Then you can click there and find one. You can make it specific to your topic. Yeah, so they're for teaching or they're for students. So that's all I had for infographics. You can explore more on that website. Kathy.
Yeah, quick question. If you wanted to upload some data, for example, some metrics, let's say you wanted to create an infographic on, look at our ASC programming, for example, could one upload data in designing it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let me share real quick. Maybe, but it's going to be really basic. So let me go back. That's a great question. So just some really, like, here's a bar graph. And so I think, I don't know, it looks like it's just visual. So yeah, I think short answer is no. You would have to create that elsewhere and then upload it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Just add content, media, upload from device.
Got it.
So that I think that would be your best bet.
Okay.
Yeah. Oops. Okay, so that's it. That's all I had. I'll let Sarah kind of wrap us up. We just really had one question. It's like, which of these ideas feels usable to you? Oh, I want to share one more thing. Sarah may have shared this, but when you start working on something in here, it will show, let me go back to the beginning, especially like in videos, it will, on the right side, it will have little tutorials that will sometimes pop up. So that's pretty handy. So like if I want to make a video, let's see, grab one. It'll say learn on the side right here. And so it's really cool. Create, add, so it's that just in time learning that's right there for you. You don't have to have 50 tabs open. So I like that. Yeah. Kathy, did you have a comment, or no, you asked yours? Benjamin has a comment in the chat.
I didn't see it. What?
How can we ensure these teaching tools are designed to be accessible, and what specific strategies support this?
Well, I mean, that's kind of labor you have to sort of do on your own. I will say that unlike Canva, the lawyers at UTA have approved Adobe Express for accessibility use. So what I will say is that knowing that, I was starting to switch over a lot of my PDF work into Adobe Express. But there's still a lot that I had to work on the back end of my PDFs, to make, you know, when you run it through an accessibility checker, to actually make sure that the reading order is correct and things like that. So I would definitely not just assume that just because you're working in Adobe Express and that's been approved by the university, that every product you're producing is accessible, right? Because if you look at some of those templates, the contrast and the colors and stuff like that is not, it wouldn't pass, right? So it's again you know, just a reminder that regardless of what platforms you're using to do multimodal work with your students, accessibility has to be part of the discussion, right? Like you have to teach them as well as yourself, right? How to, what you're looking for. You know, we're looking at contrast, we're looking at alternate text, we're looking at things like, is the reading order of our PDF correct? So that, you know, that the technology that is helping with the accessibility can work. You have to sort of be informed on that yourself and make sure that's part of the conversation with your students. Just like you would if you were teaching PowerPoint and you're teaching not just good design, but also accessibility. That still has to be part of, like, this is not a solve that kind of thing, right? So it's a better option than Canva, according to our university, but you still have to do a lot of that work on the back end.
And
so.
I threw a link in the chat from Adobe that tells more. I mean, basically, you may have to create alternative content or add alternative text, depending. Add closed captions for videos. I like to download videos and upload them to my YouTube channel, and then I make sure that it has closed captions in there. Great thought. Yeah, we just want to wrap up with kind of your final thoughts. We do encourage you to explore the resources that we shared earlier. You can contact us at CIRTL if you'd like a consultation to get started. But really, Adobe has a lot of built-in tutorials. Sarah, I'm glad you could try that, like the silent video and like step out and,
yeah, it was fun.
Do new things.
I'm
going to try that. Yeah. Different formats. What do y'all think? I think our students are very mobile driven. They're learning on their phone, they're on the go. And I think these days they prefer the multimodal content over just reading a textbook. Not that they're not going to read, but who knows? What do y'all think? Any thoughts? Well, I think we'll wrap it up. So we do have future test kitchens. We're working on ways to make them hybrid. But in the meantime, we encourage you to go to Adobe Express and just play around with it, kind of like Sarah was showing you with her teaching.
And I will say, I mean, as far as like wanting to incorporate stuff like this into your teaching, where your students are producing, they're creating with Adobe Express. It's not just you creating materials for the course. It is a good option, because unlike, you know, I've had students do work in Canva before, and that's fine. I love Canva, but you know, I have a premium, you know, the pro, because I pay for it myself. The university is not going to pay for pro accounts anymore. And our students, you don't have, I mean, they might have a pro account, and so they are limited a little bit in the parts they can use. Whereas with Adobe Express, every student and every faculty member already has a premium account. You have access to all of the good stuff. And that is, though, only in Adobe Express. Like if a student tries to use Photoshop or something like that, they're not going to have access to all the things. It is Adobe Express that is the one that our students have access to. They have the premium account, so they can use anything you create for them. They can remix and stuff like that. They're not going to run into the whole, you know, you don't have the right account sort of thing. So.
Awesome. Well, I have to run to another meeting. So
okay.
Thanks, everyone. We'll post a recording.
Thank you.
Stopped recording. Okay, thanks, Sarah.